you remember when India won the World Cup?
That's story. The one is 400. You ever see
FIFA had to wipe away all those.
And yes, that story there. You say, boy, that they say no. It's me that they just.
You think it wasn't real?
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Pitch Side Podcast, where we discuss everything football here. Last week, as you know, we brought you a lot from especially the English Premier League, where we discuss the upcoming games. Today, we go do same thing for here. There are two big games coming up, one in England and the other in Spain. I'm talking about Liverpool, taking on Arsenal. That is a big one that will be played at the Emirates. And also, the Clásico is coming off this weekend. It is Real Madrid who will be hosting Barcelona. We'll be discussing all that here, plus other issues where it trend for the football world. My name is Mutala Yakubu Josai Okokwede here. Then Nanedu is also here with me. Good evening, gentlemen. Let's start off with the most trending issue concerning our star boy, Mohamed Kudus. Last week, West Ham United took on Tottenham Hotspurs. Unfortunately for Kudus, he was shown a red card after some indecent behavior. The English FA goes in now, review the video, and says that they are charging him for misconduct, meaning that Kudus could face a lengthy ban on the touchline if he is found guilty. Then give him up to today, say make West Ham and Kudus respond, or else he will face a lengthy ban on the sideline. Jose, let me start with you. You saw the footage of that incident where Kudus seemed to have punched the face of Van de Ven. It didn't end there. He went on to, I think, punch Papi Sarr, if I'm not mistaken. He seemed to have punched two players, and that resulted in a red card. Kudus may be out for a longer time. For now, he's missing just 3 games, but it could be more than that.
Udala, let me start off by saying I'm very disappointed in Kudus. And I think after the incident happened, I had a discussion with people who were at the game. And on this show, I'll reveal what Mickey Van de Ven said to Kudus. That led to Kudus assaulting him on the pitch. Initially, the first incident was Kudus kicking him on the turf.
And running him over,
even when he was, rolling.
It be like Van de Ven no like that.
You see, so when he got up, the first thing he was like, Charlie,
you go nuts.
Something is wrong. But you see, you wouldn't understand Kudus. But if I tell you what Mickey Van de Ven told Kudus, which led Kudus to react.
Master, now you know did. Make you can't open your eyes.
Listen, I can tell you emphatically what Mickey Van de Ven told Kudus. And
what did he tell Kudus?
You'll be surprised.
What he tell Kudus, Bossu?
You see, people were asking if Kudus was actually frustrated.
He was.
From the Black Stars game and all. You see, it had nothing to do with Black Stars.
Okay.
Do you know what the guy told Kudus?
What he tell him? Up to now, some of us, we don't know exactly what Materazzi said to Zidane.
No, but even with that.
So what did Kudus?
Even with that.
What happened between
even
Kudus
with
and
Materazzi case? They've come out to talk about it. Zidane spoke the other time, saying he mentioned his sister. Yes.
But Materazzi has not commented on the issue Zidane, that I actually said.
Zidane was at the receiving end of whatever came out. And he has attested to the fact that this was what Materazzi said.
So what did Van de Ven tell Kudus? That is what we want to hear. What exactly did he tell Kudus?
You see, after I spoke to someone very close to Kudus, you see, Uda, do you know Mickey Van de Ven mentioned Kivo Pepe?
Charlie. How you know?
No, I'm serious. No, I'm very serious. Do you know the guy was mentioned that word?
Okay, he said something to Kudus, but they didn't warrant the reaction from Kudus.
That is what I want. That is the point. I feel. You see, with all due respect,
for whatever he said, they didn't
regardless of what the guy must have said. Yeah. You see, I don't really. Yes, I understand. For the purposes of, it was a derby. We spoke about the fact that it's going to be a derby.
But I be like enough Kudus is frustrated. Wow.
Kudus was frustrated. You see, but for Kudus, especially after you scored first for West Ham, and you sat down as a team, and at some point in the game, you trailed by 4-1. It tells, the extent of his frustration, But I just feel that he shouldn't have reacted the way in which he reacted. Because it reminds me so much of Pepe. I always say, when Pepe, actually stamped and, kicked one player. You remember that Pepe incident that happened some time back?
He was banned for 15 games.
For 15 games. And it was similar thing Kudus was doing. Because the guy was on the turf and he kept on kicking him, which is, I think the whole idea was premeditated and preconceived. For him to have gone that far.
From the referee's corner, the red card was not even actually dished out to him
for kicking the guy. No. It was extending the arm.
Slap
exactly on Mickey Van de Ven. And you see, I felt like, Charlie, you're a black man, a fellow black man. I'm not trying to be racist, but I just feel, see, your African brother. That's what I'll say. Your Papi Sir was even trying to tell you, Charlie, calm down, because the guy was like, Charlie Kudus, what's up?
Maybe frustration.
No, but is he the only person in the West Ham team? Is he the captain of West Ham? Is he the leader?
The frustration when they start from West Ham.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's start from the first Ghana. Black Star played 2 games where he captained them. Where Black Star no win.
No, it tells you the pettiness. It tells you the immaturity.
You learn from that.
No, listen. It tells you how immature.
You will learn.
It's not about learning.
But
you're immature, so you need to learn. But if Kudus can carry the frustration from the Black Stars game, when he's not able to fight the likes of Jordan Ayew and co, and rather take it to West Ham and start fighting an innocent guy over there, I think, see, this is the highest form of immaturity. I like Kudus as a player, but he needs to be humble if he wants to get close to winning even the CAF Player of the Year. These are not the actions that would, last season, Kudus had more impactful games than Ademola Lookman.
Of course.
As we speak, Ademola Lookman is current front runner
to win the
CAF Player of the Year. Ask yourself, why?
Even Sekou Girassi,
you would never see this.
Looks to be ranked higher
than Mohamed Kudus. So these are the things you don't have to associate yourself with. Violence. These kind of incidents. Kudus is a fine player.
You think the FA will charge him more?
Are you kidding me?
He's been charged.
Are you kidding? This is the English. See, even Ghana FA, we are saying are even being proactive recently.
I'm being told he may miss like 5 games.
No, it could be more. He could appeal. And I think even appealing will be a very, very quote-unquote stupid decision to take. Especially after what he did. Like that outburst all of a sudden.
So you think he will hold the charge? Will hold?
It will. No, 5 games is even the least.
Okay, I will come back to you. Make a go to Nanedu. Nanedu, we all saw the incidents that led to the red card. But subsequently, the FA had to review the incident, wait and charge Kudus for violent conduct or misconduct. And we are being told that he could be out for 5 games. As it is stand, Julian Lopetegui, they need Kudus. Because even this weekend, they are playing Manchester United without him. You saw the incident. Do you think that his action actually warrants a charge from the FA?
Obviously,
Hey, it's YouTube say FA not charging an A.
Yeah, as to assemble na
Van der Ven
catch no.
Okay.
But people don't believe what I said.
Per the gestures. Van der Ven AAC.
Before that one, Mutala,
and
relax.
If you're talking about worldly symbols, he was saying, "Aden wajimu kanwana."
No, but relax. So before that,
then how say me daho masa me non kasai. Me then how say me daho na utieti me. Per what Van der Ven the gestures that he was making, he was trying to tell Kudus, "Have you gone nuts? Because I am on the turf and you are stepping on me." But I mean, who's a frustration at Kudus?
Yes, sir. No, me wa fakodokum. Ofi aguna inkum. O ka se mi kire me. O se de wa yera no. Ono nkwa no nim bebi ote. Once amu mienu na asem no omu ye involve. Omu mienu no. Omu ntem no metuma kire adeko a nipa ko ne ka kire no. Me de se na mode Marco Materazzi de na example. Zidane say Marco Materazzi in Kasai. Lips readers can say ebi mo ka say. On to say ebe hu so bo mienu ka say asem we na da ye ntem nti asem we si ye no. Ye be di court ho abobo sa ye find solution. So now what is the most important thing? The wo ye no na be matter of discussion. Kudus are passing through the rounds. Boy kra no about top leagues at least emumienu or miensa about the Danish league about the Dutch league, no about the English Premier League. This thing now Kudus here on the pitch is not allowed in association football.
Not acceptable.
Media,
Clearly not acceptable.
5-game ban no, yemfema no. Na nimfefo na AC no. Most of them will learn from that. Now you are one of the leaders in your national team. You are a key player in West Ham. So punishment never Kudus Mohammed will learn from it. Anya Bako, you did it to Van de Ven. And you did it to other player.
Papi
Matasa. Your own African brother. Or Bawon Chabe Patao. Say, brah.
Ebi mpo se video no
Maybe
sha.
I wow.
Almost watch video no clearly. If you review the video properly, you see that he touched 3 players in the face.
Absolutely. When I saw that incident, the first thing about me say, maybe you be a racist chance be Ep2 Mohammed Kudus.
And about
because the ebema a black player, ebe react say obi a patana on no ho.
okay.
My run it from the angle so say a man for kase. Adesua no besua no. When or captain the Blasters of Ghana, what better than Yona no? Yeah, to the Suntonto because one of the captain team no. Na Blaster into me I'll AFCON. Well, let me say, nobody can convince me we are not going to the AFCON. And the games me nuna into me maga Blasters enko AFCON no. Kudus Mohammed the captain is our team no. Into what better than Tonto? What better than Yona na yebe to the Suntonto. So that frustration no, they removed to West Ham game against Tottenham Hotspur. After scoring the first goal, still a hunting no, my situation will go happen on the field of play. So imagine you say a man of 5 matches, 4 matches so. Yeah, from Kudus Mohammed.
No go.
Now young players no. And from that say this is the top level of football.
Okay. Well, let's wait for the English FA and what punishment they would actually dish out to Mohammed Kudus. But as it stands, he's missing 3 games. And this weekend, we'll see West Ham United take on Manchester United. Kudus will not be available for that one. Let's move on and talk about the Ballon d'Or. Because Josiah, officially, the Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo era is ending, or it has come to an end, because with the nominees that has come, they are not in. The likes of Kylian Mbappe, Lautaro Martinez, Ademola Lookman, Rudiger Munyina, Ewomu, Ebi. But it looks like it is a straight fight between Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham. With what Vinicius Jr. did in the Champions League game against Borussia Dortmund, where he scored a hat-trick, does he have 1 foot ahead of Bellingham?
Mutala, you see, the world is gradually losing touch with humanity. And it looks like gradually the world is also moving on, Mutala, from accepting, reality, if I should put it.
Yeah, and what is the reality? What is the reality?
Mutala, the reality of this issue is that Bellingham has been a better player for Real Madrid
than Vinicius
in the last 365 days and more, if I should put it.
But unfortunately, we only remember what happened.
Rafinha scored.
We don't date back.
Rafinha scored just a hat-trick.
Yeah.
Against Bayern Munich. And everyone thinks he's already the best player in Barcelona this season. Which is not even true.
But he's been playing good football this
But he's not. You see,
we have to admit
as humans, as humans,
but Josiah, you have to admit that under Hansi Flick, he's not been the same player.
But he isn't the best player.
Remember, his name came up to be included in the transfer.
But no two ways. If you tell me he's improved under
Barcelona fans were calling for him.
If you tell me he's improved under Hansi Flick, it makes sense. Yes, but I'm saying he isn't the best player in this Barcelona setup. That's what I'm trying to say. You see, we forget, we only deal with, you remember the season where Ronaldo was bound for the Ballon d'Or? It wasn't certain until he scored, the voting time was extended, and he scored 4 goals against Sweden in the World Cup qualifier, playoff round. Yeah. You remember? And all of a sudden, he was favourite to win the Ballon. I just feel the Ballon d'Or has lost some amount of touch and prestige, honestly. I just feel, Mutala, today we can just wake up as journalists and just start projecting one player and he'll be up there winning an award. It's PR.
So you believe that Bellingham should win it?
No, I'm asking you, Mutala, let's put this into proper context, perspective. Look, take the tournaments they played together, the tournaments they didn't play together, and even with their respective clubs, and tell me where Vinny Jr. was a better player than Jude Bellingham.
But everybody they care what he do.
That's why, because it's the most recent one. So everyone remembers, which is shameful. Because if see, you should remember back to when Jude Bellingham was saving Real Madrid in big games. Where was Vinny Jr.? The guy won the best player in the La Liga. The guy won the young best player in the UEFA Champions League. The guy was part of the England team.
And he won the Golden Boy Awards too.
The guy was part of the England team. That made it
at the last Ballon d'Or, he was given the young player.
The young player. Yeah. The guy was part of the England team that made it to the finals of the Euros. And it took only what? Spain to beat them. And everyone is now hailing Vinny Jr. Mutala is PR. Because Neymar says he should be given the award. Because Benzema says he should be given the award. Ask yourself, was it better than Jude Bellingham in the league? No. When he went to Brazil for the Copa, was it better? Was his performances better than Jude Bellingham in the Euros?
Brazil didn't have a good Copa. So
that's it. So
that one, I don't want to bring him.
No. So it's all inclusive. Because if we play a 38 league game and you are not better than me,
okay,
you don't expect to win an award ahead of me because you played very well. Which even to some extent is arguable. It's debatable. Okay. Because he wasn't even better than Jude Bellingham in the UEFA Champions League. It's just PR. For me, fine. They would say he should be back. Why are they not considering Lautaro Martinez? Why is no one talking about Rodri? What happened to Rodri?
Nobody they mentioned those names.
That's the point, because Rodri, it's PR. Because Rodri, see, Pep Guardiola doesn't even have time. The guy doesn't even have time.
Kylian Mbappe now.
Where is Kylian Mbappe? Okay. And all of a sudden, Vinny is the best player in the world. Yeah. Come on, we are joking. Football is a joke now, Mutala.
Well, that is Josiah. Ballon d'Or next week. It looks like it's a straight fight kind between Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham, because they are the two front runners. There are so many players in there. Ruben Diaz, Emiliano Martinez, Federico Valverde, Rodri, Harry Kane. But nobody is really talking about these players. It's like a straight fight between the two Madrid players, Vinny and Jude Bellingham. Do you think so? And who do you even think would win the Ballon d'Or? Akomko se sing.
Me share in the last 20, 30 to 35 years. Footballers are
35 years now. What do you saying?
Oh, say yeguso. Yeba, zekangaka. Players are in association football. Meant to make this opportunity to win the Ballon d'Or. And then we are discussing players like Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham as the front runners.
Because it depends on the era that you find yourself.
That is why
Thierry Henry Oman be Pierre Ronaldinho more era. They would have won the Ballon d'Or.
That's why I'm saying Akomko and Atum Chang. From the early 90s, look at the famous Olympic Marseille team. Dominating European football. Papen, Abediayu Pele. You watch from the 2000 coming. Players are who in association football. My best player in the history of the English Premier League since 1992 is Thierry Henry. He never won the Ballon d'Or. Now we are discussing Jude Bellingham and Vinicius Jr. Personally, we will be able to monitor the Ballon d'Or in recent times. One thing is common. The popularity contest of the individual players are almost competing for the award. It's very key.
This is a popularity contest.
Partially in Josiah
concerning
Jude Bellingham, the individual performance
better than Vinicius.
But there are areas a focal point of any player in your quest to win a major individual glory. Do the Champions League semi-finals and the finals. Jude Bellingham,
he scored in the final. Vinicius scored in the final.
Vinicius scored in the semi-final, a crucial game against Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich, okay.
No, Sabe said the final
against Dortmund.
And we had the history of the Champions League. That is the focal point.
Semi-final, final. Of course.
a boy will be man winning a major individual.
If you're able to stand out in the
semi-finals and the final,
you will always be ahead of your peers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
Ronaldo would have Ballon D'Or.
Absolutely.
Semi-final, final. Oh.
If you are talking about club they are all in the Real Madrid team.
Of course.
That won the La Liga and the Champions League.
Sure.
Now we are looking at individually. They will be offered the club at the most important period of the season. And that is the Champions League.
Yeah.
A league in there, they have says here. And Kylian Mbappe performance for Paris Saint-Germain in the French League 1 are better than the two of them.
But that was a French League 1.
Yes, now make us say individual performance for Biani Liga or boy manager. Kylian Mbappe performance no better. As in Jude Bellingham and Vinicius Junior. But the Champions League is the reason why we are discussing the two of them.
Okay.
And imagine him say the important role Vinicius Junior play in the semi-finals and the final is the reason why I will vote for Vinicius Junior to win the Ballon d'Or.
Are you kidding me? We are talking about a whole season. Someone who is being consistent throughout the season, and you're telling me, say, because you played well in a semi-final and a final, that warrants you.
Listen. That be where the focal point.
That shouldn't be where. That's why I'm
Messi won the Copa America and the Ballon d'Or.
Watch the semi-final killing together with the final.
But
That is where
you don't judge. No. Mutala, let's not be. So
that's
that's why if I tell you that the relevance, the credibility of the Ballon d'Or has diminished. You have to understand, because you can't tell me that because he performed in 90 minutes games or how many minutes, 180 minutes of football, that makes him a better contender to win such an award than someone who was consistent throughout the season. Do you know Jude Bellingham's impact when they played against City? Do you know his impact?
So you feel Jude Bellingham
He's been
be awarded the best player in the world?
Listen. That's why I mentioned a couple of tournaments they all played in or featured in. They featured in 2 tournaments for Real Madrid. And respectively for their nations, they featured in 1 tournament each.
Yeah.
Now, I mentioned the La Liga, and I tell you Jude Bellingham was better in the La Liga over a course of 9 months and 38 games.
No debate about that. He had
and you can't tell me. Listen, you can't tell me. Yeah. See, the only thing he has over Vinny had over Jude was the fact that he scored in the semi-final and in the final. But Mutala, if we are talking about game-changing moment for Madrid last season,
we saw a lot from Jude.
It was Jude Bellingham.
I think there was one game against
Clásico in both legs. He was the man. His first Clásico. He scored twice.
He single-handedly won the game.
In the other leg, he was the one again.
Yeah.
He scored against Napoli, the winning goal against Napoli. You can't tell me that Vinny Jr., because Vinny Jr. has scored in the semi-final and the final, he deserves to be. That's what I'm telling you. Ballon d'Or is a joke. See, if I was supposed, if you pay me, I won't even vote in the Ballon d'Or. This is a joke of a. Why would one magazine wake up and say we are giving out an award? And everyone will be like, that's the most prestigious award in the world.
It's a credible magazine.
Where's over? Yes, but now it's diminishing. It's falling apart. It's dwindling.
Where is that diminish? Now you see it has diminished for a longer period.
If I take you to if I take you to 2010, yes, but later on FIFA realized they were a joke. If I take you back to 2010, can you explain to me why Schneider didn't win the Ballon d'Or? Can you explain to me?
Because there was Messi.
It's not because why was he not on the podium?
That is why it's a popularity contest.
I think it was 3 Barcelona players.
Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta. Can you tell me why Schneider?
And they deserve it.
Someone who won the treble, historic treble with Inter Milan, was top scorer at the World Cup, was a midfielder, and he wasn't even on the podium. You are kidding me. Mutala, you are kidding me. You are joking. Didn't he beat Barcelona? He was the man who masterminded that victory over Barcelona in the Champions League. So don't tell me the Ballon d'Or. See, if we are to put on our lenses, Mutala, sit down and revisit every game these two players played. Jude Bellingham was by far a better player than Vinny Jr.
Well, that is the
Vinicius Jr. is the best. The season under review,
of course,
because of the popularity contest and the most important games. He was key.
Listen, but I feel like the Ballon d'Or is popularity contest.
That's what I'm telling you. That's why. See, it should be.
And it's more of a PR thing.
See, hip hop artists should be those voting in the Ballon d'Or. No football captains.
I think there was a year that Cristiano Ronaldo. Which year did Luka Modric win?
That was in 2017.
2017.
When Ronaldo left.
Ronaldo had left. I remember Sergio Ramos passed the comment that some players have won it over the years because they have good PR and they are more popular. But somebody like Luka Modric deserves to win the Ballon d'Or.
Look at the last time.
When it comes to nothing,
he wasn't
but playing pure.
He was
purely
boss.
football.
He wasn't. See, one day, how do you explain you, Mutala? How do you explain to your kids that Thierry Henry never won the Ballon d'Or? Andres Iniesta, who is a better player and forever will be a better player than Luka Modric. Iniesta never won the Ballon d'Or. How do you explain this to your kids?
I can explain it to my kids. Okay, I'll tell them that, you know what? These people did not win the Ballon d'Or because there was a certain player.
I can't hear anything. I can't hear
there
anything.
There was a certain player called Lionel Messi.
Who? But
Lionel Messi, who was greater than all these players. And there was a player called Cristiano Ronaldo who was greater than
Modric,
players.
who broke that duopoly. So how did Modric end up winning it when Iniesta hasn't won it?
So, Mutala, where the popularity contest comes in, the most important aspect is, imagine a player like Mohamed Salah played for Barcelona or Real Madrid. In the last 10 years, in Ballon d'Or. All the fans in the last 10 years, or Real Madrid, and
Real Madrid, or Liverpool with the numbers.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
How is Mo Salah going to win the Ballon d'Or?
Because remember
how do you think Mo Salah will win the Ballon d'Or? Even the season they won the Champions League, he was Van Dijk on the podium. Van Dijk was second.
Yeah.
So how come he couldn't even beat Van Dijk to the podium?
I think in that year, I don't know if Mane ranked higher than
Mane didn't rank higher than him. Okay. Van Dijk was the highest ranked, and Mo Salah came in.
Okay.
But
he wasn't on the podium.
But he wasn't on the podium. It was Ronaldo who counted.
So you are saying...
But the most important thing is, we are now going to see another Brazilian winning the Ballon d'Or.
Which
Brazil
4G be at 10.
He doesn't deserve it. It was Ronaldo.
Ricardo Kaká.
Kaká winning
2007.
Yes. Every one of Brazil need to be. After Kaká, the best talent at Ep2 Brazil, Neymar da Silva, going to win it. But Vinicius Junior is about to win it. It's because the year now, Vinicius Junior did an announcement, and the team that he was playing for is crucial.
He's not even the best player in his team, sadly.
Vinicius Junior, by far, as it stands now, is the best player in the world.
Well, that is what Nanadu is saying, that Vinicius Junior is the best player in the world. For Josiah, he believes that Jude Bellingham should be handed the award. Let's move on and call the top 5 major European leagues. We'll make a stop in England first, where there's a big game this weekend. It is Arsenal against Liverpool. I don't know how Arsenal, Josiah, would resurrect from their death, because that defeat they suffered at Vitality seemed to have hit them hard. 2-0 against Bournemouth. Everyone thought, podcast man, and Educa say, oh, Arsenal will beat Bournemouth. It was a completely different game. It's one of those days that everything you do works against you. This time they are coming up against an informed and a slot side, Liverpool. Emirates.
Tough game.
Big game.
Tough game.
Big game.
But Mutala, if I should channel my inner spiritual being, that let me put that word again. Let me rephrase. If I should channel,
you be say
no, you see, sometimes but our football goes beyond. You see, you remember when India won the World Cup?
That story. The one is 400.
No, relax.
You ever see
FIFA had to wipe away all those.
And that's our story. Now you say, boy, that they say no. It's me that
they you think it wasn't real?
Massa. India will drag. It's why is it that
why do you think FIFA had to wipe away that
100 why you say Ghana show one for you reading almost 100.
Charlie, you are kid. Which year?
Me, I be
which year? You be
the one is called the one give Ghana. So Sharia no who park and so. Cause more than that the thing.
They couldn't even carry him away.
but it's a big one.
It's you know, all this
is missing like 5 key players.
It's a big one.
I hear say Odegaard no day.
There's no Odegaard. There's no Saka. Saka is not ready.
And the most important player,
Calafiori. Saliba is also out. Calafiori is doubtful.
Is also out.
No, he's doubtful. He twisted his ankle in their Champions League game. Saka is out. So
how trust Arsenal. The only player who will not be available on Sunday is Saliba. Trust Arsenal.
And he's their most important.
It's not about you see.
He's the most important.
No, listen. Let's not.
I don't know who replaces Saliba.
Odegaard is training.
Jiren Timber.
Odegaard is back, right? He's training. Saka could be back.
But is it not too early
that's
for
the point.
Odegaard
So
to
I'm
start
asking
that
that.
game? He's been out for
What
like
is the
4 weeks.
fitness? Do they have the required match fitness?
That is what I'm
to play
saying.
in the high intensity
I'm
game?
not sure Arteta will risk them.
No, they do not. Because especially when you are coming up against a team like Liverpool,
Yeah.
the intensity from minute 1 to minute 90 doesn't drop.
Doctors will not even advise you to start.
I'm telling you.
will be
Odegaard is coming. And that's why it was advisable that if you had a game like they played against Dynamo Kiev,
Yeah.
you introduce him for 30 minutes. Try to, allow him to warm himself up.
But did he feature in the Kiev
He
game?
didn't feature in the Kiev game. That's why I feel
Then
that
I'm not sure
the
he'll
Liverpool
start.
game
He
will
will
be
not
too
start.
early
Early
for him. You see, for Arsenal, I feel they were ambitious. But unfortunately, going twice to the league title and failing,
It's having a psychological effect.
no, it rather boosted their psyche, but made them more indisciplined. Unfortunately, you go twice.
Is there some form of eagerness?
You see, that's what I'm saying.
Get your hands on the
Getting
trophy.
close to the Premier League title.
Yeah.
They've not won it since the last did it as the Invincibles in 2003. But getting close to the trophy boosted their ego. They felt like, see, we are big boys. We've arrived. But then unfortunately, after going 2 seasons without playing decent football, they felt like, see, this is the time we have to add some level of, aggression.
You know why they ask you that?
Yeah.
Sometimes in the heat of being eager to win something,
You're aggressive.
You are aggressive,
Yeah.
and you end up making more
Mistakes. And that is where the level they've got into. You see, unfortunately, this is the first time they are getting to this stage in a long time.
Yeah.
We've not seen Arsenal challenge. The last time they challenged for the title was
consecutive
during
seasons.
Fergie's
Yeah.
time. Now they've had to combine European football,
Yeah.
combine the league, combine other competitions, the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and then also injuries and need
And
discipline.
it's having a toll on them.
And it's gradually having a toll on them. And now you look at Arsenal, you feel like they should be winning games. But unfortunately, Mutala is not a psyche. Their red cards are flying in for them, which even they themselves, they cannot explain. Because already, in 10 games in the Premier League, Mutala, you've had Leandro Trossard sent off. First, it was Declan Rice, Leandro Trossard, and then Saliba, your most important defender, like you're putting
red
it.
cards.
3 red cards.
In about
compare
8
that,
games.
compare that to the other teams that are also vying for the title.
Yeah.
City, how many players? Have they had a player sent off?
No, not this season.
You talk about Liverpool. Have they had a player sent off?
I think once. I would
So
have to-
even if it's once, you compare that. Arsenal on record have the most sending offs this season.
3 red cards.
3 red cards. I'm not saying they can't win against Liverpool, but I feel Liverpool are playing some crazy football. People are not giving Ancelotti that, acknowledgement, that credit he deserves. Why? Because they feel it's early days and they are waiting for him to slump. They are waiting for him to make a mistake. Just like
Everybody feels like he's
But last season when Angie came, at this point, everyone was mentioning Tottenham as favorites to win the league.
because everyone sees
No, people feel he's unassuming. He's unassuming. I said, is he
Going
good?
through some honeymoon
No,
period.
they feel like Charlie, this thing.
people are waiting for him to crash.
That's what I'm saying. They feel like this thing is
It's a
just
fluke.
it's a fluke.
He'll go away.
No,
I mean,
you see, at some point,
he'll be there for some time and he'll
it will go away. So people are not really giving him the hype. You imagine Angie. I've spoken about Angie. When Angie came in, Angie Ball. Spurs can win the title because they are in their first 10 games.
Yeah.
They were the first team to beat Liverpool. And everyone felt, they'll win the title. But in actual sense, they were not even ready to win it. I feel, Mutala, I'll predict Liverpool to win this game.
Okay.
Because I feel Arsenal are making mistakes and no one is telling them.
Okay. Nanedu, Arsenal, Liverpool, big one this weekend. Arsenal without the player who I consider as the most important personnel in that team, Saliba. Big blow for them. Liverpool coming in with some good form. Arsenal's last game ended in a defeat at the Vitality. How do they put themselves together for this one? Because they can't afford to lose. They're not going to afford saying they will lose another game. Almost drop a point. Their chances of winning the title, no. Because title, no, sitting in Liverpool, any kind of data.
It be big blow. Say Arsenal go miss William Saliba for this particular game against Liverpool. Liverpool lose only one game this particular season, both in the English Premier League and the Champions League. That is the home game of my boy against Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
So Omo Peke draw,
Callum Hudson-Odoi.
scoring the only goal in that particular game. If Julian Timber is fully fit, I think between Ono and Ben White should be the direct replacement for.
Now Ben White, Obetima was centre back.
Or a centre
It's been
back
like 2 seasons
out, maybe
since-
as a right back.
2 or 3
The same
seasons
as
he's not
Julian
played.
Timber.
Yeah.
But I think I would prefer Timber, Gabriel, our central defense, and I will go for either Kiwior or Zinchenko at the left back, Ben White at the right back.
Zinchenko.
Yes.
Zinchenko.
Or Kiwior.
Zinchenko, the money. Unfortunately, Kiwior and Zinchenko coming up against Salah will be a difficult one for them.
But one of them will play.
Of course. Arsenal do not have an option.
Is doubtful.
No, Arsenal do not have an
Saliba
option.
is out.
Unless Arsenal want to go with you.
But Bukayo Saka and Timber will be fit.
Arsenal could go with a system where they push you and Timber to their left. Now, Omama, if anything, Ben White, Abe Partner, Saliba. They can always find someone to play the right back.
Even Thomas Partey and other players.
Just say you are playing a high intensity game.
In a big game
you
like
don't
this.
want Partey to come up against Luis Diaz. Open a red card. Luis Diaz,
Arsenal will be flying very high in that game against Liverpool.
They have.
Trust me. They are not losing that game.
They are not losing that game.
Arsenal is not losing that
but
game.
But the draw will not even be good for them.
Martinelli had a good game during the midweek in the Champions League.
Dynamo Kiev.
Against Shakhtar Donetsk.
Shakhtar Donetsk.
And Trossard, I think, one of the players to watch in games like this is Trossard.
I think if somebody can make a difference for us now, it might be Trossard.
Yes. Kai Havertz,
Liverpool have McAllister back.
Yeah.
It's likely he would play together with Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. And they will go with Salah, Jota, either Diaz
Jota
or
is injured. I understand he's doubtful for the game.
Jota,
so maybe
Nunes
or Cody Gakpo.
Nunes will definitely play. And that is where they could capitalize on the absence of Saliba. Because Nunes is that quick. Very, very quick. If he has his day, he can terrorize your back line. If Arsenal can sustain and contain Liverpool for around 70 or 60 minutes, then they have a chance.
But you look at the Arsenal defense, your pace Julian Timber.
Yeah.
Pace much more than all of them. But Saliba is the main person at the back.
Yeah.
But I think if Julian Timber is fully fit, David Raya in the super form, Liverpool will struggle at the Emirates. Arsenal is not losing that game. I will go for either a full-time draw or
but a draw will not be good for Arsenal. A draw will not be
either
good
a full-time draw or a slim win for Arsenal. Arsenal is not losing that game. Trust me.
But a draw, they know because they've lost against Bournemouth at the Vitality. They need to pick up a win because Manchester City won with the last-minute kick.
And they are playing a weaker opposition.
Of course, they won with the last-minute corner kick that John Stones headed in. And Liverpool also won. Omo pre-title. And two draw, but what draw home there? Wow. Because those teams, it doesn't look like they'll drop points anytime soon. So let's see how that one goes. Now, let's finish off in Spain because there's another big one there. The El Clásico. For the first time in so many years, Josiah, we are going into an El Clásico weekend and I can't stick my neck out for any of these teams because one way or the other, it looks like Real Madrid always find a way to break teams down. Barcelona currently are playing some of the best football of their lives. For me, I can't really predict who will win this game. I am as confused as anyone else. Madrid, not in the best of shapes, but finding a way to break teams down. Barcelona playing some delightful football under Hansi Flick. How does that this one go? It is at the Santiago Bernabeu.
Mutala, do you know the first way Barcelona can win this game?
No.
Last season, they lost both, right?
Yeah.
They failed to even walk away with a point from last season's Clásico. And one man put them to the sword. Jude Bellingham. I'm hearing Drake might end up betting on Barcelona.
No, no.
I'm hearing there's a likelihood. You know he plays a bet on Barcelona last season.
Yeah.
And they lost.
Yeah.
That would be one of the easiest ways that Real Madrid could even decide to go to the stadium with under 12s and they'll still win. But on a more serious note,
Madrid are not playing well.
You see, that's,
I don't know,
don't judge.
But they are finding a way to win games.
You see, don't judge Madrid by how well they've played. Mutala, if I take you back, in the last 10 years, they've won a Champions League about 5 or 6 times. But in none of those seasons, would you say they are the best team in Europe? If you should judge Madrid by their ability to play well and win convincingly, Mutala, that you always feel they can't win anything. That's the point. You see, these are two teams with contrasting philosophies. You go to Barcelona to learn football, but you come to Real Madrid and you play like a champion. They don't learn football as Real Madrid. Barcelona will teach you how to play. Barcelona will teach you their culture. Barcelona will teach you so many things in football. That's why they have the La Masia, one of the most famous academies in the world. But you go to Real Madrid, Mutala, and the mindset is just one.
To win.
They teach you how to win games. That's the difference.
But Barcelona teaches you how to play football.
Barcelona will teach you how to play football.
That's the
philosophy. That's the culture.
The first rudiment you learn as a Barcelona academy.
Go there and learn how to play football.
How to kick the ball.
But you don't go. Have you ever seen a player going to Madrid to learn how to play football?
No. That is why we don't even have. They don't have a wholesale promotion for the academy. How many academy players have been able to enter the first team?
Because when you go there, even as a 17-year-old,
I think it's Fran Garcia.
Count the number of
from the academy.
Even Saints in the last 30 years. How many of these players? Is it Raul Gonzalez? How many of these players have come through the ranks? How many of them? You can
just name a handful.
A handful of them. So it's just two different things. Barcelona, can play the most exciting football. You see Barcelona dominating the game. But you see Madrid scoring the goals. That's what they are trained for. And you see, one of the things I like about Don Carlo is the fact that Mutala, the guy doesn't play football to make you feel okay or for you to be interested in what he's doing or for you to feel enjoy the game. No,
he's just a winner. It's all part of he's just focused on getting the 3 points and just
it reminds me of during my playing days. And the mentality with which we were playing football with. The kind of psyche. The moment, Mutala, you get onto the pitch, you just have one thing in mind. So it made you a warrior. You were the desire to win games.
So you be warrior.
you see,
so are you a warrior?
Mutala, I'm a winner. Football taught me because my playing days, I had to play with some of the best players.
You're a winner.
Do you want me to go on with my submission? you get it.
You be winner, we bet the choppy like that.
You see, so with Real Madrid, Mutala, tell you what. You see what they did to Dortmund? Barcelona would have never done that. Why? Because Barcelona would have stuck to a certain routine. Playing the same way, even when the answers are not coming.
Yeah.
But Madrid, within 5, 10, 15 minutes, Mutala, they changed the system. If it's not working, that's how malleable they are as a team. They're able to tweak things. And the players are able to, they have match winners, if I should put it. They are you can mention the number of match winners they have over there. Kylian Mbappe is a match winner. Vini Jr. is a match winner. Jude is a match winner. Valverde can win the game for you.
So you think they've assembled a team of winners. Not necessarily having individuals who have telepathy and connection.
They have
play that beautiful football where people would be
one thing.
People will be wowing.
Do your thing. But at the end of the day, we are winning. That's Ancelotti. See, play how well you can play. If you don't play well. But at the end of the day, Mutala, we are winning. And from my years of working as a pundit, one of the mistakes I did over and over was to rule out Madrid.
Okay.
And bet against them. And they've punished me for that so many times.
What has been happening at the Santiago Bernabeu? It is something that you cannot explain.
It's supernatural.
It just keeps happening. Anytime you feel Madrid are crumpling, that is where they come back for some way, somehow. Nobody actually knows what it goes on in the dressing room. What Don Carlo tells the players. They come out and they are completely different sides.
Savages.
And once you find Rudiger moving up front,
then you should know
playing as a false nine, then you know something is
I'm going for a Real Madrid win.
You are going for a Real Madrid win. Nadedu, Barcelona in top shape. For the first time in so many years, Barcelona are going to the Santiago Bernabeu with a lot of confidence and a lot of hope. I've seen a lot of Barcelona fans on social media, putting out comments that shows that they are very confident going into this week's game. It is the biggest fixture in world football, arguably. Where do you think this one will go? Because it is a game that could define or could have an impact on the La Liga title as well.
I think the easiest Clásico win in recent time will be this weekend. Looking at the form of Barcelona, they are in a super form and playing some good football. Mutala, I've watched most Madrid games this particular season. the same as Barcelona. And I can say the Madrid team that made many who this particular season cannot stand in the way of Barcelona. Barcelona is playing some good football, even without the number one goalkeeper. When you look at the shape of the back four, there is some consistency in their play. Kunde, Alejandro Balde, Kubasi, Inigo Martinez. They are playing some good football. And that young guy, Wabijina Medford, where it looks like they found a new Sergio Busquets in the Barcelona team. Casado. He's playing well. And the good news is, Dani Olmo is back. So you pair Casado, Dani Olmo, and of course, Pedri in the midfield trio. With Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Yamil Laman. And yet, Deste going into this game, the two Brazilian players are in super shape. Getting a hat-trick in the midweek prior to the Clásico. Rafinha, and of course, Vinicius Jr. It's a game, man, when you are watching Madrid games, now a good defense. And I mean where the goals will be coming from. One, Jude Bellingham is struggling in recent times. Vinicius Jr. on year consistent until last weekend and the midweek. Rodrigo Goes, I understand he's injured. And sure now I'm available for selection. So Rodrigo Goes may be out. But maybe it may create a room for the coach to go for the 4-4-2 diamond. With Jude Bellingham, Eduardo Camavinga, Fede Valverde, and Luka Modric. Or Aurelien Tchouameni. So it's a big game coming on this particular weekend involving Barcelona and Real Madrid. But I think Barcelona is standing tall with their current performance and form of war and how they can score goals from all angles. I don't think this Madrid team can stand in the way of Barcelona. Unless it be a good day at the Mathieu Courtois. They will create a lot of chances. Courtois need to be at his best level to save balls from these Barcelona guys. I will go for Barcelona straight win over Real Madrid.
So Nanedu, I think that Barcelona would get one over Real Madrid, and Josiah also believes that at the Santiago Bernabeu, it is always going to be magic from Real Madrid. Let's finish off with some football that will be played locally, especially in the Ghana Premier League. There are games coming up this weekend. Ediana will take on Mediema. There's Bichim United against Karela. Heart of Lions would also take on Nswatama. Then there's a big one at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. Heart of Fug against BBN Gold Stars. Holy Stars, Baseka Holy Stars will also take on Asante Kotoko. Nations would come up against Vision. Samatex against Brekum Chelsea. Young Apostles against Dreams FC. Let's talk about just 2 games before we check out of here. Let's do Heart of Folk, Baby Eddie Gold Stars, Josiah. Heart of Folk have not lost a game. I think in their last 3 games. I don't know. Is Ouattara football back?
No, I wouldn't say Ouattara football is back. But I feel, I don't know, if there's one team in the league I would always compare Hatofuk to, it's always going to be Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And sadly, I must admit on this platform that I feel Kotoko are miles ahead of Hatofuk. I know this is going to sadden Hatofuk fans. I know they wouldn't take this one, lightly, but you see, the truth is, if you watch Kotoko play, the kind of quality they have, the man they have in the dugout, and what they are doing currently in the league, I feel a bit sad for Accra Hearts of Oak with what they are doing currently. Because for you to lose your match day 1 game at home to Basake Holy Stars, Kotoko traveled to Basake over the weekend.
Yeah.
And they might get a job done to even the annoyance of Accra Hearts of Oak fans, to make them understand that what you couldn't do at home, I'm doing it away from home.
Hearts of Oak have 9 points from 7 games.
I feel...
And Kotoko have 14
from 6
games.
It tells you the quality of...
So they have
Kotoko.
an outstanding game to play.
So it means all season they've dropped 4 points.
Yeah.
2 at home, 2 away from home. It tells you the quality of this team. I think, for BBL Gold Stars, it will be too early for you to start, jubilating or even trying to say they are front runners to win the league. They are doing things right. From a distance, I'm enjoying what they are doing. But as a matter of consistency, the position where they find themselves is a position
It's not about how you start.
We've seen Ediana before.
So it's not about how you start.
No, it's always about the finishing.
It's always about
if
the
it's about how
finishing.
you start, Ediana should have been
Because
winners.
we've had teams. I mean, take the
take
top
the lead,
spot,
of
take
course.
the lead,
Lead
stretch
for
teams.
a long
Go-
time. And then,
I remember the Adriana Mediama
course,
situation.
Adriana
Adriana
Mediama
had led the table
for 30
up
minutes.
until match day 13,
and then
they gave up the ghost.
they just give it up. And I feel for Hearts of Oak, Mutala, a lot needs to change. See,
In terms of-
I'm
Is it
saying this.
managerial? Is it personnel?
Ouattara will have to up his game.
Okay.
If I'm a Hearts of Oak fan, it will be very, very difficult for me to have faith in what Ouattara is.
But what do you think will happen against BBN?
I'm looking at the game and I feel, you see, BBD, I think the captain said something,
Yeah.
which I think Hearts of Oak would have to listen to it very well. He said they are winning every home game and they are drawing every away game. They are worse.
That is the plan set out for this season.
They are worse
Should be a draw.
a draw away from home.
Well, let's see what will happen. Nanedu, let's do Baseke Holy Stars against Asante Kotoko. Prosper Nati Oguma and the boys are back. This time they will be on the road to the Western region. After that, they will be in Accra. Baseke Holy Stars, new entrants coming up against Kotoko. Kotoko need 2 players, Johnny. Need 2 players, Johnny. So Kotoko are without 2 players. I'm hearing the likes of Kwame Poku might join them at some point. But Kotoko have started the season.
And Isaac Minta.
Yeah, they've started the season.
Isaac Minta, he's almost on the verge
Okay.
of signing the contract. Omamana feel where Kotoko is staying and all the justice near
Isaac Minta, formerly of Adriana.
Adriana Stars. Yes.
Striker now.
He will be the first signing for
Okay.
Kotoko.
So, Kotoko, Baseke Holy Stars.
A big game. The reason why game we a matter of interest edema every Kotoko supporter is the 2 coaches involved. Abdullah Ghazali, former Asante Kotoko coach, and Prosper Neteogum, the current coach of Asante Kotoko. He knows a lot within the Kotoko team. He was an assistant coach for Maswe Kunodu. He was an assistant coach for other coaches within the club until Prosper Neteogum came in and he have to leave for other team. So it's a big game. Remember Basike, almost first game in the Ghana Premier League.
Yeah.
We went to the Accra Sports Stadium to watch them against Hearts of Oak. They scored in the first 5 minutes and we were able to hold on to
Madam
that
for the
goal.
PRO and Alfred Techi.
Oh, after the team.
Yeah. So, Mitani needing come
So they have a very good team. The good thing is Asante Kotoko is playing well and they are not conceding.
Okay.
When you watch their games in the Ghana Premier League, one of the teams very difficult to break is Asante Kotoko because of the defensive setup. When you look at their last game they played against Samates, coach Nico for the 3-5-2 system or avoided the wing play. So Saka Dauda, Baba Yaya, and Peter Minuwaka was on the bench. So he went for the back 3, Joseph Ablo, Justice Blay, and Samba Wonel. With Patrick Esiedu and Lord Amwa, former Brekum Chelsea wing backs as their wing backs for that particular game. Andrew Sintimenu, Michael Chejamina, and of course, Emmanuel Lentry as a midfield trio. With Elvis Sheba 4 and Albert Samoa, the goal scorer, as the front 2. But also this particular game, Andrew Sintimenu is out because of accumulated yellow card. But the good news for Asante Kotoko is that last week, now moment first signing Samuel Tinedu started training. But the coach feels like the Samate's game will be a game early for Tinedu to start. So he couldn't start the game against Samates. But I understand say it's between Ono and Justice Blay. One of them will play as a DM in the game against Baseke Holy Stars. In which I prefer Samuel Tinedu to get his first start for Asante Kotoko. Only a good day. I think he's a very good player. I'll bet add a lot to the Kotoko team. Proud to their game on my back because I understand they have 3 games in the space of 1 week. They are playing Baseke on Sunday. They play Lagos City on Wednesday, and they move
Lagos
back to
City is the
Obuasi.
number 1 cry. University of Ghana.
Yes, that is Wednesday 7 p.m. at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium,
Right.
and they play again weekend against Bando Heart of Lions. So they have 3 games. Obuasi.
Okay.
It's likely that Asante Kotoko will use the Obuasi Lenkele Sports Stadium
For the
to
rest
at the
of the
end of the
season.
first half.
Okay.
Till the
So
end of the first half.
All right.
So maybe the second round changes better. It's not likely though, but maybe if changes will come out, it will be the second round. So they have a good team.
Why?
I tip them to get a slim win
Ubabaseke. Okay, so what's in Adeduka? You've heard from Josiah as well concerning the local games that will be played. And this is where we call it a wrap with the Pitchside Podcast, the best podcast in the country. And we talk about everything football. I've always told you that don't just watch and subscribe. It is very important that you subscribe. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Thanks to my brothers Josiah Okokwe and of course Nanedo. It's the Pitchside Podcast. See you on the next episode.